Welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Celestine Wendia. I'll be your host for today. And we will be talking about the death of Albert Ojwang. Albert Ojwang died in police custody, and today was his post-mortem. The pathologist said that he died from head injuries, neck compressions, and soft tissue trauma, and in no way were his injuries self-inflicted, because remember, the police came and said that he banged his head in the cell a couple of times, and that is where he got his injuries from. But since now it has been openly stated that they were not self-inflicted, how are they going to answer these questions? Because Kenyans want answers. A police officer who was dressed in plain clothes was caught recording the protestants who are protesting against the death of Albert Ojwang. And people told him to delete the videos and started questioning him about which police station he is from. And he said that he is from Pangani police station. Here is a video.
Sema, wewe ni nani? Unaitwa nani? Sema. Wewe sema wewe nani? Tulia. Wewe ni aje? Station gani? Wewe ni police station gani? Pangani police station. Bro, what is your first number? What is your first number? Sema. What is your first number? Sema. Bro,
And in the spirit of leaders sympathizing with Kenyans, people went ahead and chased away Homa Bay women representative Ben Suda after coming apparently to support during the post-mortem. They said, "We don't want you here. You are going to go away because the ODM is dining with the UDA party or the government, and we don't want you here talking to us." Faith Odhiambo, the chairperson of the LSK, that is the Law Society of Kenya, said that accountability must be taken and Kenyans are not taking vague or ambiguous answers at this time. She said that the whole thing should start from how he was taken from his home in Homa Bay up to his transfer to Central Police Station and what exactly happened, because it seems like he was beaten inside the police station by police taking justice into their hands. They were supposed to keep him safe, yet he died in their custody. Accountability should be taken.
Previously, when viewing had been done, there were defense wounds on his hands, the way his face was swollen on both sides, even the black eyes that were on his face showed signs that this was not someone who hit his head and ended up killing himself. And so from the postmortem, what the doctor has said just agrees with what we had previously been informed and seen, that he was tortured and brutally murdered while in police custody. We want to know, as much as the IG of police has since released the people who have been indicted, we want to know who are the ones who picked him up from Homa Bay, because we do not know if he was tortured on the way before he got to the police station, because no one was able to see him until the father was informed about his untimely death. We want to see all those officers indicted. We want to know all the places he was taken to, so that we are sure that all evidence is properly collected. We want to ensure every single party and who is the one who gave orders for him to be picked up. Let every person who is in the trail to be held culpable for this heinous murder. This is a crime. What he was purportedly being picked up for is a crime not known in law. And therefore, we even saw Kevin, what happened. They took him round in circles and he was not charged at the end of the day. And also that is malicious as well, and they should also be held accountable for picking up Kevin. So if it wasn't for what happened, Alfred would have been free. Albert would have been free, he would have been with his family, he would have been released because they would have not been able to hold charges. But they decided to take the law upon their hands. They decided to take his life. We are saying that we will not allow that this matter be swept. He was killed while in police custody. They have tried to take us through a bull and cock story, telling us how he hit his head and killed himself. We want every single officer held responsible, from the one who issued orders, to the ones who picked him up, to the ones that he was handed off to. We were informed by the OCS that he spoke to the OCPD. We want to see him part and parcel of those who are being held culpable, because he lost his life while he was secured, where he should have been safe, where he should have been sound and waiting to be presented before a court of law. However, our police officers decided to become the courts of law. And therefore, as a country, as a people, we must not relent. We will continue to issue pressure. And we also tell our friends in IPOA, we want to see action. We do not want to see you making merry with the National Police Service. We want to see you taking action. And this is one thing that we are not going to take excuses about. We are not going to listen to any excuse you telling us that you've not been able to collect, you've not been able to get information. We have seen you sitting and talking to the heads of the National Police Service. We want to ensure that you shall be held accountable as well. You are the one who has been given the responsibility of investigating these police officers. We expect an expeditious process to be done. We expect to see the results and members of the public informed of what you have since found. Pathologists have done their work. It's time for you to now do your work. We want to see all those officers arraigned in court. We want to see our judiciary in action. Let us not leave any stone unturned. And also to the Director of Public Prosecutions, we want to see you also reviewing the proper charges so that we can hold these individuals that have gone rogue to be held accountable. You cannot expect the people of Kenya to trust in this government, in this National Police Service, if they cannot get justice. We want to see justice for this family. The father narrated how he handed over his son, believing that he must have committed any offense and therefore he'll be brought properly before court. But he ended up handing over his son to killers. And we want each and every murderer that was involved in this process to be held personally liable. Let them appear before court. Let them as well be indicted, each and every one of them. As Kenyans, let us not relent. We preach peace. We want peace. However, we cannot say there is peace without justice. Peace and justice come hand in hand. And so the government should ensure that we get justice. That's when the people of Kenya will get back the trust in this government, when they see action is being taken. It's an individual who made the decision to have him arrested. It's individuals who came and picked him from his house and took him and killed him. Let those individuals be held accountable. Let us hide no one. No one is above the law. Irrespective of which position you hold in the National Police Service, you should be held personally accountable. And no one should hide behind the executive. No one should hide behind any godfathers. Let us ensure that each and every person who was involved should be held responsible before the honorable courts. And we hope to get a briefing as soon as possible from the IPOA and the chairperson himself, telling us what actions they have since taken And when can we expect that they present their file before the Director of Public Prosecutions so that we can be able to see the perpetrators brought before court? The father, let the father.
And people are calling for the arrest of Eliud Lagat, who apparently his name was smeared through the dirt by Ojwang, and that is why he asked for his arrest. And while we are talking about Faith Odhiambo, let us also remember some of the female leaders and what they had to say yesterday, especially Karen Nyamu and Esther Passaris. Now they are coming forward and apologizing for what they said, because Karen Nyamu insinuated that Ojwang may have abducted himself at some point because of the level of self-abductions taking part in the country in order to smear the government. Her and Esther Passaris, I believe they are supposed to take a book and listen whenever Faith Odhiambo speaks, because it seems like she is showing them of how women can be in leadership and actually know what is going on in the country and actually know how to address matters without giving us rumors. Remember, Esther Passaris was saying that IG Koome should investigate the matter, when actually the IG is Douglas Kanja. I don't know how one can make such a mistake without even researching, because that is information available online. And Karen Nyamu, with her self-abduction speech, said that she should not have insinuated that that is what happened to Ojwang, and asks for forgiveness. Tell me how that is not insensitive, because family of Ojwang is going through it, and yet some leaders come on here and say things that make others question whether they even went to school in the first place. Because I believe people with position of power should use their influence correctly, because Raila Odinga came forward and said that is not how the government should be functioning, by beating people to death in police stations that are supposed to keep themselves. Apparently, they did not even afford Albert time to be taken to court and be judged on his crimes, or what crime he was being accused of committing. And a lot of Kenyans had gone to hear about the post-mortem results. Remember, pathologist Johansen Oduor, that is the one who did post-mortems on the Shakahola massacre, said that he cannot perform the post-mortem because he has blood relations to the family of Albert Ojwang. That's why the post-mortem was pushed from yesterday to today. And now the results are out. And before you go around saying that we can see what President William Ruto is doing for us, he has no way addressed the matter at all. In fact, today he was hosting Mount Kenya singers, saying that he can account the work that he has done in the 1,000 days that he has been in office. That is what President Ruto has been doing today, saying that he is actually listening to everyone, including the cousins. Tell me what you think about his input or lack of input in the comments below. This has been Havana Media, and I have been your host, Celestine Wandia.